We will open up the today's press conference with an opening statement from Coach Lloyd.
Great job by our guys. I'm super proud of them. We're in this game as a program last year, and we don't assume or take anything for granted. So I was really proud of how we responded because, I know sitting in your guys' seat, you guys like the drama and you like all that stuff that comes with this tournament. But, there's another side of it, and it's the players and the coaches who have to actually live it and feel it. And, a lot of us are pretty tunnel vision and don't have, besides our families, a lot else in our life. So we feel the emotions, and for our guys to overcome that today, and we got off to a decent start, and they made a big run at us, and then we kind of settled in and took control from there. So really proud.
Okay, we'll open up the questions for the student athletes, please.
Yeah, Tommy, Steve Rivera, allsportstucson.com. Can you talk about the importance of the three-pointers? I think it was a school record for the NCAA Tournament, one, and two, how important it was to get them out of the zone.
I knew they were going to play zone a lot, and that seems to be a little bit of a trend playing against us lately. And I think our guys are settling in and getting better against it. And the funny thing about zones is they're all a little different. And so you have to kind of figure out where the little pockets and openings are. And when you look analytically, look at them. I mean, their opponents shoot a high percentage of their total shots are three-point attempts. So I knew they were going to pack it in, and we were going to have to shoot some threes. And we really focus on always, jamming the ball inside and pounded it in there and getting to the paint. But I knew we were going to have to take a lot of threes. So I think 35 three-point attempts is a lot for us, but that's what the game called for today. And our guys did a great job of knocking them down, including this guy right next to me here.
Okay, we are taking questions for student athletes first, please. Right down here.
Alex Timo, KSL.com. Kylan, what was the message in the locker room? Because Long Beach State made it a game early on, and it was a dogfight for most of the first half. What was the message from Coach Lloyd in the locker room that really got you guys settled in the second half?
Main thing we've been talking about lately is taking one task at a time. Coming out in the second half, that first 4 minutes with our first group has been the main focus, and making sure make sure if our lead is still there. Maintain that, or try to put a push. But all of us did a great job coming out of the second half and staying strong.
No one got one. Jim, you don't have one for Big O up here? Come on now. How about this guy? Big O has been kicking ass, and I'm super proud of him the way he's been playing.
For either Kylan or Oumar, Nick King from Channel 3, Channel 5 in Phoenix. Looked like you guys were really starting to have some fun in the second half, especially as you start on that 17-2 run in the first 4 minutes, basically. Were you able to feel a little bit, I guess it's easy as you start to turn up that lead, but were you having fun in the second half there?
Yeah, we were, because in the second half we were playing really good defense, and I felt like our defense always dictated our offense. We get stopped, then we went fast breaks, and if you get stopped like that and then score, you gotta celebrate. That's how we be having fun every game.
Any more questions for our student athletes? We're checking with our Zoom participants to see if they have any questions for our student athletes. If you do, please use the raise hand button on your Zoom window. All right, not seeing any, we'll excuse our student athletes. Thank you very much. And we will now open up questions for Coach Lloyd.
Tommy, Alex Timo again, KSL.com. Tommy, what was different about this year's matchup compared to last year's matchup, and what lessons did you guys take away as a coaching staff from that loss against Princeton in the first round last year that you were able to apply to today's win against Long Beach?
Well, I think the lesson, we could dissect a lot of different ways, but I think the first thing you have to acknowledge is it's hard. I mean, these games are hard. I've been in a lot of 116, 215 games, and no matter what you guys think, they're hard. And you just have to be willing to deal with that, and you have to get comfortable with hard. Because if you don't, panic can set in. And I thought our guys did a great job of, not letting the tournament pressure get in, and we turned it up and really focused one task at a time, made a few plays, and then, kind of flipped the script. And you have to make a team like that that's playing, with emotion and positivity, you got to show them the end of their season. You got to give them a glimpse of like, if they don't start playing better, this could be it. And you got to flip the script on them. And I thought we were able to do that in the second half and kind of flip the script on them a little bit. And then they saw the end and we didn't. But they are tough games.
Tommy, those first 4 minutes specifically, the way you guys flipped the script, what were you doing there? What were they doing?
I think our guys had actually just settled into the game, and we kind of got a little more comfortable with some things we could run against that zone, and a lot of times against the zone, you can have these great little X and O diagrams, but it comes down to your players, making plays and making good decisions and creating opportunities for themselves and others, and our guys really settled in that way. And then I thought defensively, we were able to make a couple plays. Blocked a couple shots, and we were able to get out in transition, and we feed off that stuff. You guys talking about celebrations. I mean, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but that's something we practice. I mean, you have to play with joy. We practice celebrations all the time, and we want to do things on the court that should be celebrated. We want to celebrate our teammates' successes. So, because I think that energy builds, and so I'm happy you noticed our guys having fun. That means a lot to me.
Hey, Coach, Eddie Pels with AP. I know obviously you're friends with Coach Monson. You guys did dinner. At what point do you just have to set that aside?
Hey, make no bones about it. I wanted to kick Munz's ass. I mean, don't make any bones about it. We're competitors. So it's like playing against I'm the little brother, and I've always been the little brother to all those guys. So sometimes little brothers got to fight back, and that doesn't mean I don't love Munz. I felt I almost do now, like tears starting to well up when I hugged him at the end of the game. It's a lot, and people don't know what we go through with our families, and think that guy gave 17 years to Long Beach State, and they fired him without another year in his contract. So he's walking out of this deal in 30 days with no benefits, no severance pay, nothing. That's when you sit in my position and what we put our families through. I don't think that's right, and that guy does not deserve that, because he's a great man and he deserves another job and another opportunity. So that's where my heart goes out to him and his family, because that's the other side. That's the stuff we talk about. We don't just talk about joking about the game and the Princeton offense, all that stuff. We talk about the real stuff, and so what he and his family are going through is really hard right now, and I hope people understand that there's a whole other side to this business, and we know it's a tough business, but still, he's got kids in college, and our jobs are pretty special. They're specialty based, like not a lot of them out there. So I hope things go good for him, because he deserves it.
Coach, Davis Domestic, the Crimson. Oumar Ballo had a double-double this evening. Not to be outdone, Caleb Love did as well. We all know Caleb is an incredible playmaker, but how impactful was his rebounding to the success of this team?
Caleb had a double-double? Oh, my goodness. Good for him. That's great. No, hey, when Caleb's contributing in other ways, it really helps us. Obviously he's a pretty offensive-centric player, and so we can all get fixated on that a little bit. But he made a hustle play today that really stood out to me. I think he turned the ball over and went back and blocked a layup attempt, and for him to do that was huge growth. That's a championship effort, and so I was really proud of him. And O's been so steady the last 2 months. He's just he's been a force that's hard to deal with every day, and I really admire his consistency. That's been awesome.
Hey, Coach. Greg Moraz, Pac-12 Network. Today was Keshad Johnson's 9th career NCAA tournament game, and he scores your first 7 points of the second half. I know people talk about that experience in the tournament and what it means to the rest of your locker room, but when you guys went on that 7-0 run to close the first half and then come out with the big burst in the second, how much does having that real game experience mean in that type of situation?
Well, it matters. And, the thing with Key is he's got such a special ability to lock into the moment. And there's no moment too big for him, because for him they're all equal. They're just moments. And so I've been really impressed with that. And I didn't realize he scored our first 7 points, but I'm not surprised he did. I know he had a layup on the baseline I thought he got fouled on. But then he must have made a 3 and something else. But so yeah, it's huge, and Pella makes our first basket a 3, and then Caleb settled in the game, and Kylan played really well today. So their experience is rubbing off on him. So it's great, but. Hey, we don't assume anything. We know whoever we play Saturday is going to be a tough game, and it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out, and we're going to have to put our best foot forward.
Okay, time for a couple more questions. We'll start right here, please.
Tommy, you opened by talking about the tunnel vision you guys have and the difference between you guys and us sitting here, and I would say it applies to the fans too. And at some point in the first half, it's probably easy for people to start thinking about, oh, here we go again last year.
Yeah.
It's a different cast of characters, but do you have to wonder, or is there a moment of like, I hope our guys aren't thinking like that?
Well, we try to talk about our guys, talk about that stuff with our guys, but human emotions are really powerful. And as a competitor, you just have to fight those thoughts, and you can't go there. Yeah, I mean, the tournament pressure deal is real, and anybody that says it's not, is lying to you. I mean, it's a real thing, and that's one of the things that makes it such a fun tournament to watch, and it makes it really hard to play in. But fortunately, I think this is my 25th time in the NCAA tournament, so I've been around it a little bit. And some of our guys have been around it a little bit, and to be quite honest, I think we're built for it.
Okay, we'll check the Zoom really quickly. If anyone on the Zoom would like to ask a question to Coach Lloyd, please use the raise hand button. Okay, are there any more questions here in the room for Coach? Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations. We'll see you Saturday.